classroom. Today we are going to talk about artificial selection and how technology has changed the way humans influence the inheritance of desired traits in organisms.
Breeding is the production of offspring from the mating or breeding or organisms that are closely related genetically.
Inbreeding is useful in the retention of desirable characteristics or the elimination of unwanted ones, but it often results in a decreased size and fertility of the offspring because of the combined effect of harmful genes that were recessive in both parents.
Genetic markers can be used to infer levels of inbreeding and inbreeding directly from sampled individuals. These approaches present the distinct advantage of not interfering with natural patterns of mating.
Shut up, Commandant. In a small population, matings between relatives are common. This inbreeding may lower the population's ability to survive and reproduce, a phenomenon called inbreeding depression.
Oh, shout out Jason Lee. For example, a population of 40 vipers, also known as adders, experienced inbreeding depression when farming activities in Sweden isolated them from other adder populations. Higher proportions of stillborn and deformed offspring were born in the isolated population than in the larger populations. When researchers introduced adders from other populations, the isolated populations recovered and produced a higher proportion of viable offspring.
Shout out Lucas. Inbreeding is a technique used in selective breeding. For example, in livestock breeding, breeders may use inbreeding when trying to establish a new and desirable trait in the stock and for producing distinct families within a breed, but will need to watch for undesirable traits in offspring which can be eliminated through further selective breeding.
It can significantly influence gene expression, which can prevent inbreeding depression.
If you're wondering what gene expression is, it is the process by which information from a gene is used in the synthesis of a functional gene product that enables it to produce end products, which are proteins or non-coding RNA, which ultimately affect a phenotype.
Shout out William Daniel. There are multiple technologies used for inbreeding, and I will list some. The first one is artificial insemination. Artificial insemination is what does it say?
Embryo
transfer, which are reproductive technologies that can improve the genetics of livestock breeds.
Shout out Ricky Pearson. The next one is progeny testing. Progeny testing is a selective breeding program that can identify and eliminate families that carry detrimental recessive alleles.
Shout out DK Metcalf. Another one is whole genome sequencing. Whole genome sequencing can help identify inbreeding and genetic health issues in populations.
Shout out the Rizzler. The last one is a microsatellite. A microsatellite can be used to evaluate inbreeding.
Shout out Baby Ground. Despite all its differences, inbreeding can also have a variety of advantages, such as it has the power to concentrate a father's DNA, it has the ability to quickly repair a certain type, and animals used for breeding may be more likely to pass on their own characteristics on a frequent basis.
This presentation gets a 5 on the boom meter. Boom, 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 boom.